everybody.
What's up?
Hi, Morgan.
Hi, Toby.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
We out here. Okay, so my name is Toby. I'm the co-founder of Poché Design Studio.
And I am Morgan. I am also the co-founder of Poché Design Studio.
And we are best friends.
Forever and ever. And business partners, if you didn't get that already.
We create dope design for dope people. So this is going to be a fun little session.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, what is your... Oh, wait. We gotta guess.
No. Well, okay, yeah. How about we do it that?
Yeah, let's first guess, but then we will have the actual answers of what our favorite...
Okay. So I'm going to explain what she just said to me and her brain.
What we're going to be guessing is what each other's favorite design tool is. And that's open, right?
Yes.
Softwares,
whatever
specific things.
You know, if you're a designer, if you do Adobe Suite, are you
maybe jumping around?
Right? You like Rhino?
Ooh.
Right. Are you an Excel girly?
Some people are designers and Excel girlies at the same time, and those are interdisciplinaries, baby. Interdisciplinary. Okay, so we're gonna guess.
We're gonna guess, but we're also gonna guess for each other. So
yes.
I think Toby's favorite, without question, is a line. Any sort of a line, like a line, a line left probably, and a line center probably are the most common that she uses. I bet money. I put money on it. Amira, ask me if I'm right. Micah, ask me if I'm right.
I feel so dry.
Nah, because I'm like, how'd she even see that, bro? I'm talking directly to you. How'd she even see that, bro?
That is dry. She knows my tea. It's funny because before this started, like, if you had asked me, like, what's your favorite InDesign or what's your favorite tool? I would have probably said something else. I'm like, no, they're right. The one that I even, like, sorry, I'm a professor as well. My students, they know. What are we going to do now? Horizontal align, center align,
distribute
spacing. Yo, I'm a distribute spacing ass bitch.
And look, she knows. I like Santa Claus. She knows if you ain't do it.
I know. I can. Oh my god! Like I can literally see it. Like if something is not aligned, oh my god! Like I will be seeing printed stuff, posters. I'm like, guys,
look at that
text box. You didn't align the text box, so. She knows my tea.
It'd be like that.
What is yours? Okay. So obviously you're a Photoshop girl, but you're like a reformed Photoshop girl. Cause like you were like, fuck every other app. I can do everything in Photoshop. But it's like, babes, Photoshop is just for photos. Not every other thing. But I'm trying to think, what would your actual favorite tool? What is your favorite tool in this shit? Rhino? Did you say, okay, you know what it is? Your favorite tool?
Think about it. You said it earlier. It's connected.
Okay.
But it may not be exactly the same. Excels are girlies.
So you be making tables and charts?
Not exactly.
Not tables and charts?
But I like things organized.
You like things? Oh, bitch, I know. Because this is something that... When they say like yin and yang, like the one thing that somebody cares a lot about, the other person does not give a fuck about. This is a layering ass bitch.
Why don't you layer?
She is a layer.
Her layer. I'm on the same layer, bro. I have to go in and find. Why is it just this layer locked?
Because that's my file. And I just wanted that one rectangle to be locked.
Don't send it to me. I'll make it.
Oh my god, that is so funny. But this is what being locked in. This is some real designer shit. Because the way Morgan would be like, Toby, you just have two layers, you know how, you'll know. If you're a designer, you know.
And background.
Bro, I'll have literally layers, background, and then I'll put everything that I just want to be able to lock in that. And sometimes I'm just like, let me just put all my rectangles on the bottom of my layer and lock them all. I don't even have time to make two layers. Guys, the Morgan's like, why does it look like that? You know, one thing too about being a designer and being friends is that you gotta love your friends where they're at. When was the last time that we opened each other's file? It's been a minute. We haven't touched each other's files.
You know, I think we're like we work better in our own
apart.
Because there's been so many times where I sent Tobi's files back to her with layers. I'm like,
and God be like, who told you to do that? Who told you to do that?
Why'd you just clicking behind. Move it on.
No, my favorite, you know what I be doing? It's like, because, also, I like word searches. I don't know if it's connected, but I think that I feel like there's a through line.
I believe that.
What I will do is I will grab the object that I'm looking for. I'll go to my layers. You know how like it'll show the circle? Look, I'm throwing gang signs. It'll show the circle of what's selected, and then I just memorize what that is. I'm like, oh, there it is.
I ain't got the memory.
And if I really need it, if I really, I'm like, if this is something I'm constantly coming back to, I'm gonna just grab all of that stuff and put it on its own little layer. So I'll be having like maximum, I have like 3 or 4. I don't even be going up to 4 to be quite honest. Maximum 2. Most of my files have 2 layers. 1 layer for background, and I put all the stuff that's in the background in there, and everything else. Because sometimes I'll be like doing something, I'm like, you know what? I actually want it to overlay like that. I know, I'm like twisting the knife, but you have my teeth. I gotta have yours too.
Right. Girl, I'd be like, I love her. Why is
her favorite tool is what she don't get from my files. But like, align. Do you be aligning your files? I think you align them for me.
I enjoy the even distribute tool that you do. Like, I enjoy putting in that I want it to be equally spaced apart from box in to box in. Because the fact that we never had that before last year. Like, what do
you mean distribute space and wasn't?
If you're in, I don't remember which program. I'm in InDesign a lot.
Oh, yeah. InDesign, I don't know if has this. Yeah.
But you can select like 7 things. Tell it to all space 1/4 of an inch apart.
Oh yeah.
Even if they're all.
You couldn't customize the yes.
But yes, I enjoy it. I may forget to do it, but usually it's because. Like, I can usually tell if it's also off. Like, I used to fuck with it heavy, but, I stopped using rulers, I don't know, maybe like 7 years ago. And, like, I just never looked back. So
you don't, like, put guides and stuff?
No, I prefer, well, I will. Like, I enjoy it aligned. I get a little anal about it. That's part of
Oh, okay. Got it.
Because I'm like, I'm spending way too much time making sure shit's perfect. And, like, I just need to get this design out.
Yeah.
I'd be trying to leave it alone sometimes.
I started, you know what I do now? Like, I mean, obviously I can just see I can just see when it's not aligned, but I will, I'll have guys and I'll just clear them. I don't even keep them. I'm like, I'm never coming back to them. I'm just going to link this to, and if I need it, I'll just put another one. I'll just drag it and drop it.
Yeah.
But that's funny that your favorite tool is like what I am just like, fuck no! Fuck layers, bro!
I get so lost in there. I'm like, where am I? Where are they? I can't see. Why is it all on one layer?
Because I know where everything is. And that's what I love. You gotta love your friends right there. We just don't go into each other's design files like that.
I'm like, send me the finished product.
Send me I'll leave my notes on Adobe Acrobat actually, and you implement.
Because I'm not doing this. She said, I think you did it recently. You're like, can you just update the file? I'm like,
how do I tell you that I don't want to be cussing you out while I open and look through your layers? It's okay. Again, love us.
I'm like, just don't look, bro.
Just grab and go. But another thing that is funny that we're both anal and sticklers about are fonts. Don't get us going about fonts. Fonts and sometimes color palettes. Yeah, we just like, you know what? Let's agree to disagree. I think this is best. Let's literally move this decision forward. Like there's no agreeing. Like, or sometimes if it's a project you're working on, or if it's a project I'm working on, we're like, you know what? Take lead. And if it's Poché stuff, if it's a document that I'm working on, and that's the color palette that, like, if that's the pink that I use in my color palette, it's whatever. If she's working on Poché assets and it's her pink, it's okay. We just, again, agree to disagree.
Right. We agreed on our basics.
Yeah. And then...
for the most part. Pink is still up for argument.
It's getting closer.
We're going to reach a decision by the end of the year.
Yeah, I think we'll land on a pink. A Poché pink.
We need to propose a few options. But I'm like, otherwise, we, for the most part, agree on basics.
And then...
After that, though, it's free game. Because I'm not going to step on your toes as a designer. This is equal parts yours as it is mine.
Exactly. And everything... One thing about design is that it's subjective. I prefer how this looks and you prefer how that looks. Simple as that. It's funny because I was thinking about the client that said, I don't like lowercase for no reason. And Morgan likes, like, but again, for me, I don't have any hard.
Well, so let me say though, it's not for no reason. Let me tell y'all why I love lowercase. It's because it's uniform. And if I want to accentuate something that's uppercase like black, you're going to know that I've done it intentionally. So lowercase actually gives me an opportunity to emphasize things that I would not normally emphasize. It may fade into the darkness of otherwise regularly cased sentences.
Exactly. And that's like your visual language that you've created for yourself. And that's exactly. I love that. For me, I don't have any strong feelings about like sometimes I use it just because it feels like it works with the design. Sometimes I use it for logos. And again, where it feels right. But I think what I like a lot is like fonts with variable weights. Give me options, baby.
She wants the options, baby. With fonts. She will be like, what about these?
I want an extra light right next to it. Extra black, baby. Talk about contrast.
Nah, she wants to see it.
I want you. You gonna that punch that difference. You gonna see it. But that is real designer shit. I love that. We need to do more of these little designer questions. Okay, so we're gonna dive into the next question.
Yeah. Okay. So our next question is: shout out to our team. I love my team. They support us.
Period.
What has been the overall question is how has our team made us better? Which I mean is so easy to answer. We could probably ramble here.
We can go on. We can go on and on and on.
Because everybody who has touched Poché, helped us, pushed us a little bit further. Like literally every single one of those people have been amazing. But our team has been around and seen the thick of it. And I mean, we do shield them from as much as we can shield them.
They're still, again, and I think it's, again, boundaries. Like, there's some stuff behind the curtain that, like, you just are not supposed to know about. So you get to that point, if you get to that point.
There's no point at bringing you that trauma yet. You know?
Good parents. It's like, it's good parenting. Like, you know, sometimes like we talk about like some, like, I love my mom so much. She has been like on this journey of like obviously becoming a better person, but she's been doing this thing where sometimes like I'll say something offhand, like, yeah, like I had to be responsible for my brothers, or I had to do these things. And then now she's like apologizing to me for that. She's like, oh, I see how I was trying to make you more mature or more responsible, but that was traumatizing to you and you didn't deserve to go through. So like in that case, where it's like going from having a parent that kind of exposed me to all of that, I know, like, yes, I think it's helpful. That's why I'm so, everybody's like, you are literally a 50-year-old woman. How are you so mature? It's like, trauma.
Like I care for children.
I can't, like literally, it's just like, I was forced to grow up at a young, I just became mature early because first child, first daughter, African parents, immigrants, the whole stack. That's why I have a therapist. But just to say, like, there's even some things like when we talk about our relationship with Poché, we always refer to ourselves as kind of like the parents, and it's not everything that you expose the children to. But in that family unit, there is a lot of things that we've been through together. And yeah, I would say, like, how do you think our team makes us better?
Oh my gosh. I love my perspective of the team because I'm watching from afar, essentially. You know, I don't spend every day with our designers, but I watch them develop. And so every once in a while, when Tobi takes her yearly pilgrimage to Jamaica, I'm watching the babies closely. And
I've been going to Jamaica, man. I'd be like, I need a...
Mama's gone, okay?
I'm going to an island in the Caribbean. Mama's don't come and find me.
Floating in the ocean.
I'm floating in the ocean, just letting the waves take me.
And I'm like, I'm so happy for her. But goddamn, it's stressful without her.
She be really saying like, girl, you be doing what?
Like
but
that shit underworld, girl.
But one thing I love, I don't mean to cut you off, but like one thing I love about those moments when we get to kind of like you step in the day-to-day, you are like, bitch, you shouldn't be doing this. You are wasting. So it's like also a great evaluation of like, again, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right. So shout out to our designers for being very capable because I mean it's something that I personally try to work on, which is singing my own praises. I don't enjoy talking about myself, especially on a personal level. Especially on a personal level. That's why I be giving out false answers, man.
I be lying.
I be lying. Like straight up, because I'm like, you don't need to know. But my, working so closely with designers, you don't get to do that. And I think it's been a great lesson in another layer of communication. So Toby and I have to communicate on a fundamental level. If we do not tell each other what is wrong or what is great, we will not know.
Seep into everything too.
Absolutely everything. And we are actually friends outside of business. We're going to karaoke after this. Literally,
hey,
on our way, girls. I'm coming ready.
If you see this outfit later.
Look, I might change again. This is the third outfit of the day. I'm not telling secrets. Anyways, so all of that to say, I actually don't know what I'm talking about.
How do you think the team makes us better?
They give me a sense of being responsible in a sense that I have not really had to be before. So because I'm an employee and an employer at the same time, I wear the weirdest little cap.
What's a little cap?
Hold on, it's like it keeps turning around.
It's a bucket hat.
Right, where's the front? I don't know, I'm confused. And so part of it is that the lessons that I'm learning full time as a 9-to-5 employee, they ask me to communicate with the team better. We ask our team to communicate with us better. And I'm like, oh, I see the direct changes and benefits of our team being more efficient. And I'm seeing how they're doing it better, and it's helping me be better. And this is helping me in my 9-to-5, but this is also helping me with Toby. And so being transparent with Toby is one thing, but being transparent with a team who is helping you is totally different.
I did want to add though, isn't it interesting how something that I've noticed you doing more in your 9-to-5 is you're advocating for yourself in a way that you're I wouldn't do this to my employees. If my employees said I needed 1 or 2 or 3 things to make my working conditions better, more, not to go there, but more efficient for their work process, you already duh, oh, take what you need. How many times are people I need a week, I need a couple days, it's not great. We're just send us a message once you're ready. And but because of that, now in your 9-to-5, you're this is not okay. I should not be treated or not that you're being treated but
we love our jobs, but there are always
there's always improvements.
And I think part of what we agreed on early, day one early, is that we appreciate the work environments that we're in for what they teach us. However, there are certain standards that we do not appreciate and refuse to perpetuate. And so having Poché as a place to sing our own praises in the sense of we recognize what this trauma really is, and because some of it really is not healthy. And I am so much about health and wellness. Toby is so much about health and wellness. Individually, but we really try to drive that into.
We put it into practice at Poché,
100. When Toby's annual pilgrimage is all about health and wellness.
It's get my mind right so I can be better to people. And even I saw this thing that was talking about recognizing the signs of burnout. And I looked at that list recently. I was this is sounding a little bit I might gotta book the trip soon. I honestly, I do need to book the trip to Jamaica soon, but it actually is overdue. It was May last year, so I'm coming. It's time to renew my. But there's other admin stuff I need to sort out. That's part of it too. But all that to say that even in the moments of spotting where, I am tired and burnt out, and being able to not have to then transfer that to you is, if we didn't have a team, that's literally, we would just be playing tennis with the burnout.
Well,
instead of being able to actually distribute.
Those days were hard. When I said first year of marriage stuff, okay, because when you are learning how to support each other, and that's part of it, is that when she asked me to do weird little one-off tasks, I'm like, bro, why are you asking me to email this person back? Okay, fine, but it's I know it's making her life easier, and it's the same thing with having a team. Is that we know that they're there to help make our lives easier. That's the entire reason that we started the search in the first place. And now that they're here, every day, Every single day, we're just like, how did we do this without them? I mean, by the strength of our teeth, I think we cried a lot. I cried a lot, and we made it through. But it's like our team makes us better because for one reason we want to support them, and so we have to be on our P's and Q's to be able to support them because it takes a lot to support a team beyond just finances. Like there's a level of patience that we've I don't want to say mastered, but like we have been real good about being patient and like understanding and hearing what people are saying to us. And I think we also do a really great job of being like, and I do this with everybody. This isn't just our designers, but if someone is telling me something, I'm like, what I'm hearing they need is this. And so we do our best. And Tobi is often better at this than I am. I'm a little bit more health and she is wellness. I mean, she wants to make sure you are taken care of here.
Let's make it better. But I do want to say though that I think that another thing that our team makes us better at is advocating for ourselves because we have other people that we're advocating on behalf of. So it's like in the past where we could be like, okay, maybe this client didn't pay us or did it like same thing of like, no, actually I'm responsible to pay this person for the hours that they've put in. Therefore, that money needs to be in the account by this time. So that makes me get on my, like in the past where if someone is late on an invoice, I'm like, it's fine. I have enough to pay rent. They can, and it's comfortable for them. Meanwhile, they're spending that money in Montego Bay. I don't know why we keep going to Jamaica, but it's like, yo. Oh my God. The worst is when a client owes you money and they're on fucking vacation.
And you're like, that's crazy because it's not even that much. I'm not even asking for that much, but like, things like that happen, and you learn how to put your foot down because people are looking out for you. And so
exactly.
One of my questions just flew away like a little birdie. But what are things that you do to? Oh, I was going to ask you about our end of the year reviews. Like how do we put some of the things that we've learned in our time in corporate America and working at other firms, other organizations, like how do we put some of those things into place and how do you see that immediately fed back into the development that we train
our people? It's really, so another thing I want to say too is that something that people don't mention at all is like when you decide to hire somebody else, you are also taking on a new role of a manager. And it sounds good on paper. I manage, but it's actually if your job is designer, you are now a designer and a manager. And there's a whole other set of responsibilities that role comes with. But skills. What was the one that we were talking about? Was the end of the year reviews? How we make So what I love our end of year reviews because what they've and when I think before we actually go to end of year reviews, do we want to talk about how we added team members or that doesn't really matter?
I mean, tell me what you got.
Well, I was gonna say that like we didn't just like get to set. So it's Morgan and I, and we have 5 other people on our team. Just for some background, myself, Morgan. We have, and I'm gonna say in order of people how they joined. Sneh, our social media lead. Micah and Amira, our designers, and Loom, Joe, our brand assistant, and Loom, our creative strategist. They all came in at different points once we realized that like we had hit capacity bandwidth for certain things and also had the budget in the bank to pay them in that way. And just to be out 100% honest, everybody outside of Morgan and I mean, we're also kind of technically contractors, but it's different. But everybody is contractors in our business right now because that's what's sustainable for us. It won't always be that way, but this is what we have for right now. So just wanted to talk about the background of our team. But our end of year reviews are so amazing because we've had Sneh joined us in end of 2020. Amira and Micah joined us in 2021, Joe 2022, and Loom end of 2022. Wow. Yeah, so they all kind of came in at different points. And they've been with us long enough that we've done multiple reviews. That what is so beautiful is that our reviews and the goals on there have kind of become like a manifestation like list or sheet. Like the amount of times that we've had a review with one of our people and then gone back to the review from last year because we have it in Excel sheet. Thanks, all right, Excel queen. Or Google Sheets queen again, transferable skills. being able to be like, okay, this is where you were at last year. These are the goals that you had for Poché, you had for yourself. And then to be like, oh my God, like, knocked all of those things out. Like, it's actually multiple members of our team can literally attest to this. I don't know what juju woo magic is on our reviews, but the culture that we're creating, where instead of this sterile, like, this is what, like, oh my God, I'll never forget my 3-month review at the one architecture firm I worked at. And I thought these niggas liked me. And that review was when I realized these motherfuckers did not fuck with me as much as I thought that they did.
Hold on.
I said, hold up. These people are like, it's not that I was like getting there late or like not doing right, but they turned in like, it was like, sometimes you get here after 9:00. You get here a couple minutes after. I was like, you been keeping calm, and y'all don't even be in here when I'm getting here. So how do you even know? They probably have a camera, but I'm just like, y'all aren't even upholding the things that you're asking me for. And I've only been here 3 months. Like, there was all these things that they were like, you should be doing this. I was like, damn, you grade yourself. I was like, I think I'm doing pretty good there. I think I'm doing pretty good. It was like 3. I was giving myself like 4s and 5s. It was giving me like 3s and 2s. But also, I will say that was a white firm, and to be serious, as a dark-skinned Black woman, you do face more aggression in the workplace. Like, it's the facts. It's the facts. I've noticed that people will just react harsher to me as a dark-skinned Black woman than they would to other people. So I'm not going to say that I was, a terrible employee. I will say that there were biases that were in that process. You know who I'm talking to. You know who I'm talking to. But all that to say that with that experience, and you've also had similar traumatic experiences.
Thanks.
I see your breathing pattern change. We've both had those weird, like, traumatic experiences in the reviews where, again, it feels like they're turning it around and be like, you're not good enough in this, that way. That we're like, that's something that we're shattering at our firm, where it actually becomes something to look forward to, something to be like, look at what we've done.
Look at what you've achieved. And
how do you feel about our review process?
I love it because so part of the review process is that I actually hate reviews. They instill this feeling in me.
Trust me, I know.
Right. Most people, it's that pit of the stomach feeling. You're like, I gotta go talk to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I used to be, a stellar. At one of these offices, I was a stellar employee. I once showed up to a job site sick. I had that was the time I had a kidney infection.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God.
In pain on my floor, crying in pain. So part of the review process in a traditional office is going to be feel in a deficit mode. Mm-hmm. So you haven't done well enough here. You need to perform better here. Mm-hmm. Like, you need to do these X, Y, and Z things. And they'll mention a few things that you're doing well at. Like, we see that you've, I don't know, showed up on time a couple times. I don't know what they might say, but like,
you said that one thing in the meeting.
The review process, as everyone knows, is terrible. And so we just made it a point. I made it a point to Tobi, and I brought this to Tobi early on. Like, I hate the review process. I hate asking for more money. And these are things that she's more comfortable with than I am. I'm not a confrontation person. I have 2 responses: fight or run, as everybody does. Usually I run. I'm like, I don't need to be here.
Running.
I'm a pimp walk away, but I'm a get out of here because I don't see why I need to be here. And so that's how I feel in these meetings. And so the point was, how do we flip it? And how do we make it a moment for the women who work with us to feel a little bit more empowered to do these things that they're going to have to do if they decide to leave us, if they decide to work in a super corporate office, if they decide to have their own firm, their own business. Like, we're very supportive of what their next steps are, because we recognize anybody who's probably working with us right now is also a little bit entrepreneur focused. And we appreciate that because it takes a lot. So we train the people that we're with. And part of that is making sure that these review processes are, 1, clear, and 2, important and worth everyone's time. And so it's one of the few times a year we really have some one-on-one time with our girls. Well, we call them our girls in an affectionate way, but our pochettes, we look out for them as much as we can.